What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? It has been a minute, but we are back for a retro review. Falcon Crest season 1, episode 14. We gotta get out of season 1. We gotta pick up the pace. I say I do. But listen, this episode, whole lot goes on. Okay, whole lot of plot starts to thicken up in this episode. So we start this episode off. We got Chase riding down in his Jeep with his sunglasses on. You know, y'all remember he won that election, honey. He feeling himself, and he runs into Emma. And Emma is like, you know, I leave out the house every day. I sneak up out the house every day. And every day I walk a little bit further. One day I'm going to make it all the way to town. And they not going to find me. Chase was like, so you just be out here walking by yourself? She was like, yeah, I do it all the time. You know. And he said, well, why do you want to go to town? And she said, because town, everything is in town. And so he said, I tell you what, Emma. He said, the next time you want to go to town, just give me a call. And somebody will take you. She was like, really? He said, sure. He said, but for today, why don't you go and jump in my Jeep and I'm going to take you back home. So he takes Emma home, right? And Emma is being Emma, honey. You know, she's, hi, hey, everybody. And on her way up the steps, Emma turns around and she says to Chase, your daddy was so peaceful when he died. Now, Chase didn't say nothing in that moment. But first of all, how Emma know what he looked like when he died? And second of all, supposedly his daddy died in a car wreck where his car went over the cliff because he was driving drunk. How was that peaceful? Chase don't say it in the moment. Angela's looking like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. But he don't say nothing, she don't say nothing, they don't say nothing, they move on. Then we have Angela talking to Lance. Now remember a couple of episodes back, I told y'all about this whole Melissa and Grady. Yeah, and Grady situation. And I said, that's not the real Melissa. Because they had this other chick. We meet the real Melissa in this episode. We have Lance and Angela telling him, listen, you're going to date her. You're going to marry her. Because we are going to merge these damn vineyards together. And it's going to be what it's going to be. But Lance is like, grandmother, listen. Now, I done gave up on love, but I am not marrying her. I don't love her. I don't even think I like her that much. And Angela was like, but you are. And you have a date with her today. So they end up going out on a date. Why? Because Lance always end up doing what grandmother wants him to do. So they end up going on this date. But listen, Melissa ain't feeling him and he ain't feeling her, but they already know what it is and they know what it's about. And Melissa, for lack of a better word, Melissa come off as very trampish. Okay? She comes off very trampish. And Melissa ends up taking off on her horse and riding wild. And who did she run into? Cole. And her and Cole have a little moment. You know, a little flirt moment. Lance come through and Lance don't care. Because like I said, he don't even like her. So he really don't care. Of course he throws a little jab at Lance. And at Cole, and Cole throws a little jab at him because that's what they do. They throw jabs at each other, child. So, oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I hit the voice memo on my phone, so it was recording everything I was saying about to text it to somebody, child. So they have like a little moment, like I said, a little flirty flirt. Lance comes along and he sort of throws a little insult out at Cole, and Cole throws a little insult out at him. And you know, Melissa is like, so what's this about? And Cole was like, it ain't about nothing, you know, I just don't need to be tripping off of him like that. So then we had Chase. Chase must have thought about what Emma said. By the time, you know how somebody say something and it don't really register until later. So it must have registered when he got home. So he calls Angela back and he says, Angela, I caught what Emma threw out. And I need to understand, I need to talk to Emma. I need to understand what Emma was talking about. Because she talking about something, my daddy looked peaceful. But my daddy died in a fiery car crash. How could that be peaceful? And y'all know Angela was like, child, you know Emma. And he was like, well, let me talk to her. And she was like, no, you're not. And he was like, well, come on, like, what harm could it do? Like, I have every right to talk to Emma. Emma is my, you know, she my cousin. Sometime when I feel like it, why I can't talk to her? And Angela was like, well, you're not, and it is what it is. Now, Lance has decided that he is fed up and he is tired of grandmother. He told grandmother, listen, I will do anything you want I'm just not going to marry her. And grandmother told him, well, that's all I want. So Lance decided he going to pack up his bags and he going to run away to San Francisco. Now, remember, I told y'all San Francisco ain't but an hour and a half away. But he going to run away to San Francisco. And, of course, Julia is all for it because Julia wants him to do what she never had the nerve and the guts to do, which is get the hell away from Falcon Crest. Now, granted, he going to San Francisco. He ain't going far. But I guess she figured it's a start. So she supports him. She tells him, you know, good tidings. I hope that all works out for you. Now, he don't run far. He runs to his grandfather's newspaper. Remember, the grandfather got the newspaper. And he wants a job there. Now, he think that he about to be, you know, running the division or something. And grandfather puts him at the bottom. He was like, listen, you got to work your way up. Like, I had to work in the trenches and work my way up. You working in the trenches and you going to work your way up, too. And at first, Lance was like, I ain't tripping off of that. That's cool. I had to, because grandmother made him do the same thing down to Falcon Crest. So he was like, I ain't really tripping. I can do that. I can work my way up. But Lance is a spoiled kid who, even though he was working in the trenches at Falcon Crest, he was still the owner's grandson, the chosen one. So they ain't really rub him the way they probably needed to rub him. And so he tried to play them little reindeer games with the crew down there at the newspaper, and they were not having it. His foreman, who happened to be a black man, which I thought was very interesting. They didn't make an issue out of it, but I thought it was interesting. You know, was telling him what to do, when to do, and how to do it. And Lance was just not here for it. Lance was like, listen, at the end of the day, y'all know who my grandfather is. Stop playing with me. And he was taking like 2-hour lunches, and he was taking like 3-hour breaks and half-ass working. And they just were not feeling it. And they were kind of hazing him up a little bit too, knowing that they could, because they knew that the owner had their back, that he was supporting it, because, you know, he was like, listen, y'all do what y'all gotta do to whip my grandson into shape. So they knew that there was some support there too. So we'll get back to Lance, child, because that I done jumped a little bit ahead, but we'll get back to Lance. Now let's get back down here to the county building where Chase has now, he's interested. Emma done piqued his interest. So Chase is talking to the coroner, and the coroner is like, well, listen, I mean, I'm going to go on to tell y'all the truth. I ain't really get a chance to do no full autopsy because, you know, they ain't let me. So I couldn't even really tell you a whole lot other than what you already know. And as far as Emma is concerned, like, the sheriff ain't even interviewed her. Like, we know, we think she was there. We think that she was around him, but ain't nobody ever talked to Emma. And so Chase was like, well, how in the world did this happen? Like, how did y'all let this happen? And he was like, what you mean let it happen? Do you know who Angela Channing is? Like, stop playing. And nobody, what? So, that is making Chase even more suspicious, right? So, he ends up talking to Maggie. Now, meantime and in between time, Maggie has been talking to Julia. And they convinced Julia to let Emma go talk to a doctor, a psychiatrist. Because Emma said, I have been doing my research and I know something is wrong with me. Y'all keep acting like I'm not crazy. Y'all keep acting like ain't nothing wrong with me. But I done read these books and I have these symptoms and I know something is wrong with me. So she was ready to go see the doctor. Like, she was cool with it. They get down to the doctor. They go see the psychiatrist. They get to the doctor. And Emma says, listen, I'm either schizophrenic or I'm this. Like, she has diagnosed herself. And the doctor was like, well, which one do you think you are? And she was like, I mean, I think I might be both of them. And so they end up having a really good conversation. But she doesn't give up any family history. Like, she don't say, you know, I killed, I killed my uncle. But she definitely talks to him and lets him know how domineering her mother is and how she feels like she doesn't have any control over her life. You know what I mean? Like, she was talking some real stuff. You know what I mean? She wasn't acting crazy or whatever. Well, I don't like to use the word crazy, but you know what I'm saying. So, we'll get back to that. Now, in the meantime, while all this is going on, Melissa just set her sights on Cole. She done ran up on Cole again, and she got the flirting with him, and, you know, she was doing her thing, and she walked off without giving her the phone number. But come to find out, Vicky, who y'all know I don't have no use for, Vicky and Melissa take a dance class together, and Melissa ends up giving Vicky the phone number. Vicky gone and gives the number to Cole, but she tells Cole, she said, are you sure you know what you're doing? Because she is a barracuda. Like, I have seen Melissa chew people up and spit them know, like, are you really, really sure you know what you're doing with her? And Cole was like, stop playing, like, I'm a grown-ass man. I can handle her. She ain't all that. I can handle her. So they end up going out on a little Disney date. And, who come rolling up on them while they, you know, they in the midst of some flirting? Angela. And Melissa know immediately, oh shit, here we go. Because she already know what the deal is. Like, she's not stupid, dumb, or naive. She knows exactly what Angela is trying to do. And that she's trying to set her and Cole up. And she ain't really here for it. I mean, Lance up. And Angela goes straight to Melissa's father and tells Melissa's father, well, you know who your daughter's been hanging out with? And he's a thug. And, you know, he was arrested for assault. And he's this and he's that. So when Melissa rolls up with Cole, the father is just not here for it. Like, he damn near assaults Cole. Like, get off my daughter, get away from here, don't ever come back. And Cole was like, what the hell did I do to you? Like, and even Melissa was shocked because usually he be down. Like, he know his daughter a hoe. And usually he down for it. Because he told Angela, my daughter has more friends than I can keep up with. That's code word for it, guys that she messing with. But he don't pay her no attention. She's spoiled, got the little Porsche and all of that. So we have this very interesting conversation between Angela and her ex-husband. He invites her to come down for lunch because he called her and let her know, you know, Lance down here, you know what's going on at Falcon Crest. So she comes down there for lunch and they end up having a conversation about, you know, Lance and why he left and what's going on. And she told him about, you know, Lance is just pouting because, you know, he don't want to marry Melissa. And he was like, oh, I'm so glad I got away from that place. And she was like, why you say that? He was like, because you really be on that bullshit. Like, you really act like Falcon Crest is, like, in your heart and you will die. And, like, you going to make this boy marry somebody he don't even love just for the land? Like, you doing too much. And so she was like, my father built this place up. My father did this. My father did that. He was like, with my money. He was like, when Falcon Crest was getting ready to go out of business, who saved it? My money. Now, he said the Great Depression. Even though this was in the 80s, I don't think they meant no damn Great Depression. Like, that would have been way. Like, I think he probably meant like the 1950s, 1960s. Because this was the 1980s. Anyway, neither here nor there. He made it clear that his money saved Falcon Crest. And if it wasn't in that, he is not stupid that he know Angela married him as a business deal because he had the money and Falcon Crest was about to fucking go bankrupt. And Angela act like she got offended by that and act like she got real indignant, got up and rolled out. He was like, whatever. Like, tell the truth and shame the devil, okay? Like, you mad and you in your feelings, but the shit is what it is. Like, ain't nobody lying. So, where I want to go next? Because I'm all out of sequence now, but we're going to get it. We're going to get the whole story in there. So, okay, now I had to go. I do need to rewind a little bit. So, Emma did tell the doctor a little bit. She didn't tell the doctor the whole thing about Jason, but she did tell the doctor a little bit. And the doctor does feel like Emma was there when Jason died. The doctor also said that Emma got a better grip on who she is than what they give her credit for, child. And so they kind of take that and run with it a little bit. So when they take Emma back to the house, Julia is defending, you know, they let Angela know that they done took her to see the doctor. And Julia is like, Angela is yelling at Julia, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I protect her for a reason. Like, I keep her in this house for a reason. And she finally ends up telling Julia what the deal is. She was like, listen, Emma killed Jason. Now, what's funny is at the end of the day, Emma really didn't kill Jason. But, you know, Emma killed Jason. We need to get her the hell out of here. I mean, we need to keep her protected before all our asses go to jail. So, Julia immediately now is in protection mode, like, oh shit. But I feel like she's in protection mode to protect herself, because she's going to immediately start asking about the inheritance and what happens, you know, if Julia goes to jail, and, you know, what happens to you, what happens to us. And Angela let her know, well, now that you know about all of this, oh, I ain't going to jail by myself. We all going to jail. Honey. So when when Maggie and Chase come back around and they want to talk to Emma, now Julia is blocking it. It ain't just Angela, it's Julia too, because Julia is like, oh hell nah, he can't find out about the situation. So they end up going to the ex-husband, the newspaper guy. They end up going to him saying, listen, Emma is your daughter too, and there is something really going on with her, and you need to intervene. And he was like, he said, listen, I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting Angela. I've been fighting Angela Channing for 20, 30 years. I'm tired of fighting her ass. Like, I know my daughter, I know my daughter got some specialities, but I love her, and it is what it is. And they were like, listen, you really have to, like, if you don't intervene, it just may not end up being good for Emma. Like, we really need you to step it up. We need you to get involved. And so he ends up calling Angela. Angela shuts him down. You know, she does what she does. And he was like, well, she's my daughter too. Like, you really doing a lot. Like, I love her too. She's my daughter too. And Angela was like, I mean, what you want me to say about that? And then we have this really good conversation where the grandfather really gets it. He really lays into Lance. And he really lets Lance know. He was like, listen, you know, you've been really cutting up. Like, my people been reporting back to me that you taking these 3-hour lunches and you got a real bad attitude. And he was like, listen, understand something. You're gonna have to show me that you can work your way up, just like I had to work my way up. And he really laid into Lance. And then Lance pushed back and, you know, came after him and basically let him know how hard it is. Like, yeah, everybody think I'm the golden child, but they don't understand what I be sacrificing for that woman. They don't understand what she demands of me and what she puts and the amount of pressure that she puts on me. And I just, listen, if this ain't for me, that's cool. I'll find something else. But I can't live like that. And I mean, of course I know he ends up going back to Falcon Crest, but in that moment I thought maybe he was really gonna, child, you know, he took his happy ass back to Falcon Crest, honey. And Angela hit him with the basically like, okay, you back, and you know what that means. And, you know, I hear you've been working really hard down to the newspaper. So just like you was working at the bottom down there, you back to working at the bottom here. He was like, oh, so it's back to, you know, I was back to the, you know, the fields for me. She was like, sure is. So she gonna punish him by making him go back to the bottom of the totem pole. But her child, she gonna bring him back up real quick because she still want him to marry Melissa. Melissa ain't marrying nobody working in the fields, child. So Cole has a conversation with his sister, and she's still trying to tell him, Victoria, she's still trying to let him know, you can't handle her. Like, she just be doing too much, too fast, too soon, don't understand it. You really can't handle what she giving. And he was like, no, I think I can handle her. I think I can handle her. So he ends up going over there to see her that night. He hiding in the bushes. She come home because Victoria told Cole, well, you know, she going on a date tonight with somebody else. And she was. And it was somebody that she has been with before. Because he was trying to get in the house. And she was like, not tonight. And he was like, last time. She was like, well, that was last time. Tonight, you're not coming in. And because she see Cole's up, you know, she see Cole up in the cut, up in the corner. And so she ends up coming over to him. They get to talking, kissing. Next thing you know, she inviting him in the house. He talking about something, what about your father? She was like, oh, he sleep. He fine. Don't worry about him. He ain't gonna wake up. I said, oh, you hoe, you harlot. So, back up to the main house, up into the Falcon Crest. The ex-husband, I don't know why I can't remember that man's name, but Angela's ex-husband, he ends up going to go talk to Maggie and Chase. And he was like, listen, I heard what y'all said. You know, y'all got to me. We need to go talk to Angela. So they go roll up on Angela. Angela's like, what the hell? So they go roll up on Angela, and Chase is being all extra and all dramatic and shit, talking about I have a right to talk to Emma. Emma is this and Emma is that. And, you know, the husband is like, and that's my daughter, and I'm going to talk to my daughter. We're going to get to the bottom of this. There's something going on here, Angela, and I don't understand what you got going on. And Angela is doing what she does best. She is trying to, you know, definitely blocking him from wanting to see Emma. Next thing you know, honey, they get to arguing, and He tells her, I'm putting my foot down. I'll let you tell me what to do for too long when it comes to my children. I'm going to see what's going on with Emma. Emma needs both of us, and Emma needs our attention. Baby, she ends up. So they arguing, honey, and Angela told him, you gave up all rights. Like, he was like, I have a right to see my daughter. He was like, she was like, you ain't got a right to do shit. Next thing you know, he done killed over, honey. He done had some sort of heart attack. And the last we see is that he's in the hospital with Angela and Lance by his side. And Angela was like, oh well, it is what it is now. And I'm like, damn, he ain't dead yet. So I don't know if he in a coma, if he died, if he dead, I don't know. But he in the hospital with the oxygen mask and everything. So I don't know, honey. We're going to see what happens next. Y'all let me know. Talk about it later. Peace.